Nobody expected this, but Lewis Hamilton has finally spoken out, and what he said has turned heads across the Formula One world. With Ferrari under the microscope and pressure building from every direction, Hamilton's recent statement has raised even more questions than it answered. What's really happening behind those closed doors at Maranello? Ferrari's SF-25 upgrade was supposed to be a major turning point. Instead, it's created more problems than solutions, pushing engineers to the edge. Hamilton, a 7-time world champion known for his composed and tactical approach, decided it was time to break the silence. In a recent interview, his words hinted at something much bigger than a car issue. "There's a lot going on. I hope I can speak about it someday," he said, his face showing more than just concern. Those few words weren't random. They sounded like a quiet alarm coming from within the core of the team. Something isn't adding up, not just in the garage, but in how things are being handled across the board. Hamilton isn't the type to stir drama for attention. His calm, calculated manner has always been his strength, so when he speaks with such seriousness, it suggests real problems, and not just mechanical ones. There's a feeling that the trouble runs much deeper, a sense that the foundation itself is shaking. Amid all this, team boss Frederick Vasseur is trying to hold things together. He was brought in to lead Ferrari into a new era, but now he finds himself cornered. Media is asking tough questions. Fans are growing impatient, and inside the Ferrari HQ, the pressure is rising fast. He's been doing his best to stay composed, reminding everyone that success doesn't rely only on raw speed, but also on how well a team operates week after week. He recently promised another round of improvements, possibly before the British Grand Prix, but those promises don't carry the same weight anymore. Ferrari supporters have heard it all before. Updates, changes, solutions, yet results remain the same. Faith in Vasseur is slowly fading, and whispers are starting to turn into real doubts. Many are now asking, is Frederick Vasseur really the leader Ferrari needs to climb out of this mess? On paper, the SF-25 still holds solid potential. Under the right conditions, it shows decent race pace and can compete. But the problems start before the lights even go out. Qualifying sessions have been a disaster far too often, with the red cars failing to make it to the front row. That puts them in a vulnerable position at the very start, stuck in mid-pack chaos, wasting any chance of gaining early track advantage. One of the most frustrating weekends was the Chinese Grand Prix. Not only did Hamilton get disqualified due to a floorwear violation, but Charles Leclerc faced his own nightmare when his car was found underweight. These weren't just unlucky moments, they were major oversights. And in Formula One, even the smallest technical error can destroy an entire race weekend. Since then, Ferrari's engineers have been burning the midnight oil. They've thrown everything they have at trying to fix these issues, from adjusting balance to optimizing setups for different circuits. Yet the improvements haven't done enough. While they battle with inconsistency, their competitors, McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull, are pressing forward. Their teams continue to tweak and upgrade their cars with precision, showing a level of execution that gives them an obvious edge. Still, amid all the uncertainty, Charles Leclerc has stood firm. The Monegasque driver hasn't backed down. Despite growing rumors that he may be considering other options, he's kept his stance clear. When asked about the gossip, he simply said, "I don't know where that came from. I'm not paying attention to it." Even so, fans aren't fully convinced. Leclerc joined Ferrari with a clear aim to become world champion. But year after year, inconsistency in performance and baffling strategic decisions have kept him from achieving that goal. His dream still feels out of reach, not for lack of talent, but because of what's happening around him now. New information coming from inside the Ferrari camp is painting an even more troubling picture. Several insiders have quietly shared that the tension behind the scenes is growing stronger with each passing race. Senior engineers, once confident in the team's direction, are starting to lose faith, and the root of the issue appears to be a growing disagreement over how to move the SF-25 project forward. There's a clear divide. One group is focused on improving the car's core reliability, a response to the mechanical and technical troubles that surfaced earlier in the season. The other group believes that catching up to Red Bull and McLaren requires more aggressive development. But the problem is, both objectives aren't lining up. With no unified approach, Ferrari seems to be falling behind on both fronts. An unnamed team member revealed that the real challenge isn't just the car, it's the lack of agreement on what direction to take. Engineers are working on different priorities without coordination, and that's leading to a lot of confusion. The upgrade package that's been teased for several races still hasn't arrived, and behind that delay lies a clash of opinions among the team's top minds. This internal struggle isn't just slowing progress, it's creating frustration. The mood in the garage is tense. There's an ongoing tug-of-war between departments, especially between the aerodynamics and technical units. They're not on the same page, and that's beginning to affect performance on the track. The breaking point came after the Canadian Grand Prix. Ferrari had a real shot at finishing on the podium. Instead, a flawed pit stop strategy threw that opportunity away. That misstep was the last straw for some. Senior engineers didn't hold back. Some even openly criticized management, questioning whether leadership was truly in control of the team's future. One engineer put it bluntly, "We need direction, not just nice words." Now, all eyes are on the next two races, Austria and Silverstone. These aren't just regular calendar stops. For Ferrari, they could decide whether the season is salvageable or slipping away completely. There's history attached to the Red Bull Ring. In 2022, Charles Leclerc delivered a brilliant drive there, securing a much-needed win. But that was then. The situation now is far more complicated. The SF-25, while showing occasional flashes of pace, still lacks the consistency needed to fight at the front. And the planned upgrade package, still uncertain. That makes the Austrian Grand Prix feel less like an opportunity and more like a high-stakes risk. Betting on past results won't help if the current car doesn't deliver. Then comes Silverstone, a circuit that means much more than just points. It's a home race for several key rivals, and one of the most iconic tracks in Formula One history. Ferrari has plans to introduce a major upgrade there, but this move comes with its own gamble. Bringing big changes without proper testing, in front of a massive global audience, could backfire. If it doesn't work as expected, it won't just be a technical setback, it'll be an embarrassment played out on the world stage. Within the paddock, there's growing concern that Ferrari is walking a thin line. Every decision now carries extra weight. A wrong call could not only cost them positions but further damage the confidence of a team already under intense strain. Fans are hopeful, but cautious. After all, they've seen this story before. Big promises, followed by familiar disappointments. As things stand, one truth is hard to ignore. Time is running out. In Formula One, every race missed is an opportunity gone. While Ferrari tries to steady itself, rivals like Red Bull, McLaren, and Mercedes are pushing forward, showing no signs of slowing down. Their upgrades are arriving on time, their strategies are tight, and their execution leaves little room for error. In contrast, Ferrari is still stuck dealing with internal disagreements and missed chances. Inside, low pressure is rising fast. The atmosphere is tense, and the margin for error has shrunk to almost nothing. Ferrari has always been a name that commands respect, but respect in F1 isn't earned by history, it's earned by performance. And right now, the results aren't matching the brand's legacy. Lewis Hamilton, with all his experience, understands the challenge better than most. He's built teams into champions before, and he knows that rebuilding from the ground up takes more than just talent. It needs stability, trust, and above all, time. But time isn't something you can simply ask for. In this sport, time must be justified through results. Without visible progress, patience runs out quickly from fans, from the media, and even from within. Ferrari's future now hinges on how they respond to this moment. Will they finally deliver on what they've been promising since the start of the season? Or will this turn into yet another painful chapter in a long stretch of frustration and missed chances? Everyone watching F1 knows how fast things can change. One weekend can turn the tide. But for that to happen, Ferrari has to stop talking about potential and start proving it where it matters most. On the track,